What's up, guys, students? Another day, another devotional. It is Monday, June the 1st. We have made it. A new month. It feels like summer now. It's officially here. And with summer, we get Collide every single week. We're calling it our Collide Summer Takeover. Students, be sure to register for our Collide services. You can go online, gsfbc.org/students. You can go on the link there, register for our Collide service. We need to know how many people are coming. It's important that you do this because it helps us have everything in line, everything in order, and so that we can follow the guidelines of the CDC and do everything in our power to keep you guys safe. Be sure to register. This would help us out substantially. Students, we are super excited about Collide. It's going to start at 6 o'clock Wednesday night. Be sure to be here. It's going to be an incredible time. Something else that is incredible that is happening is we are fully staffed. Tara Plant is now in office. Today is her very first day. She's working right next door to me. We are super excited about God bringing her to our student staff and how He's going to use her in an incredible way. Ryan and I have been praying for this position to be filled, and God has done so in an incredible way. And so we encourage you guys, reach out to Tara, let her know that you're excited that she's here, and just tell her just who you are and things like that. Hey, in our New Testament reading plan today, we are looking at Acts chapter 17. In Acts chapter 17, we see the continuation of Paul in his obedience and his faithfulness in being on mission. And so Paul is addressing the Areopagus here in verse 22, and I want you to listen to what happens here. In verse 22 of chapter 17, it says this: "So Paul, standing in the midst of the Areopagus, said, 'Men of Athens, I perceive that you are very religious.'" Now, if you came to me and said, "Casey, I perceive that you are very religious," I would take that as a compliment. I want to be known as someone who is marked by God, but also people perceive as being a religious person. It's not a bad thing. But then we see in verse 23, it says, "For as I passed along, I observed the objects of your worship." Now, when he makes this plural and says objects, what we begin to realize is that Paul is going to do what Paul is so good at doing in making people aware of them not following God. He says, "I found also an altar with the inscription, 'To the unknown God.' What therefore you worship as unknown, this I proclaim to you." He says, you're worshiping an unknown God. Let me make clear to you the known God, the creator of the universe. He says, I want to tell you about Jesus Christ. I want to tell you about his Father God. He says this in verse 24, "The God who made the world and everything in it, being Lord of heaven and earth, does not live in temples that are made by man." He says, you're doing all these things and you've got all this stuff built up to worship these gods. He says, but they don't live in these temples. The Lord who created the heavens and the earth does not live in these temples that are made by man. Nor is he served by human hands as though needing anything, since he himself gives to all mankind life and breath and everything. And I love what Paul did here because he goes into a place where people are very religious. And he was bold. And he had to do something that was going to require some resistance. Because if you are a religious person and you believe that you're doing all the right things, and somebody comes in and challenges that, you have an issue with it. Paul does just that with these men of Athens. He says, I perceive that you're very religious, but you're worshiping the wrong things. Students, I encourage you today, look at the things that you are worshiping. Look at the things that you are giving your time and your efforts, your money, your concentration, all of those things. Are you worshiping the wrong gods? And how can we begin to truly worship the one true God? Students, I hope that you're encouraged by this. I hope that you're challenged by this morning. And hey, we are excited because Collide is happening this week. Be sure to register. gsfbc.org/students. You can go to our Instagram page. You can click the link in our bio. But we need to know that you're coming. We cannot wait to see you Wednesday. We hope that you have a great day.